If I had $1 billion, if I had $1 billion, I'd buy you a fur coat. Hey, good morning, everybody. How you doing? G'day, mate. How you doing? Wow, you look good. You remember that scene from the end of Trading Places? Looking good, Monty. Something like that, isn't it? That scene. So anyways, happy Friday. Let me remind you that trading Forex is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Let me change the font size here. Marina says, Wayne, thanks so much for the Euro pound analysis yesterday. Oh. It worked very well for you. The trade worked out really cool. So can we confirm that you hear sound? Thank you. All right. Muy bien. Hello, my name is Wayne. What's your name? I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. I'm here to help you become a success as a currency trader. We'll cover technical, fundamental, and trader psychology and anything else, because actually you're the boss. I'm the humble market analysis, and you let me know how I can help. What do you want me to do? I do these sessions Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. New York time, 2 hours before the New York Open, which is approximately London lunch. Do that here at Forex.Today. First Friday of the month, I'm at FX Street for Trade Non-Farm Tables Live. You guys want to do some technical analysis? So, terrorist attack in London, missiles flying over Japan, and everything's good. It's interesting, right? It's the power of people needing to make money, in my humble opinion. So typically what you read in a textbook is that you would run to safety, right? But not this time of year. It's about making money. I want you to remember that. So yesterday we got some volatility when the news came out of missiles first. The terrorist attack in London didn't occur till this morning. But what happened was the yen got very strong for a short amount of time, and then 3 minutes later, the world moved on to what it wanted to do. So I got knocked out of my CAD yen long trade for 450 pips profit. I got knocked out. So 450 pips profit. High five, though. That was a good trade, right? And then, of course, now it would be a higher high. But how would I know? Okay. How would I know? That's why you have contingency plans. What was our contingency plan? I'll give you a hint. It's not CAD yen, but essentially the same play. Kiwi yen. Yeah, we what was what did we do there? We tiptoed in, right? You guys remember that? So we can go visit that and see how accurate our tiptoe was. Okay. The market dropped all the way down to my actual entry line. Touched it, but didn't cover the 3.5 pip spread. So I'm within 3.5 pips accuracy, right? 4 days in advance. So I am long 3 trades. It touched the 4th trade, but didn't cover the spread. So I'm only long 3 trades, up 100 pips per trade. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? I guess I was tired. Is that cool? Look at this, guys. That's my long entry there. Look at that. Now that's accurate. Too bad, huh? Should have had it 2 pips higher. So anyways, I'm up 300 pips so far if you add up the average over the 3 trades. So the second long is here, right? There's 3 longs. Along here, along here, along here. Of course, this was supposed to be a long, but I missed it. So when you add these up, it's on average 100 pips each. Cool. So high five. Huh? High five. Whoa, whoa. Just that easy, bro. Brew. Cool, right? Cool beans. So I hope you're doing well. But I want to go back to like the money shot, the stuff we were talking about, I think yesterday on a couple of trades. I think it was on the pound news being bullish. I'm like, yeah. All right, so it went up a few pips. That's not where you make your money. The money is made with the trade plan that was in place earlier, like buying at a quadruple bottom or something, right? So the money being made like this, I suppose, right? Okay. Higher high, higher low, roll reversal. And you saw me do this too, didn't you guys? Where I'm like, all right, based on that move, we'll put one here, we'll put one here, we'll put one here, and we'll put one here. And all we're doing is fibbing this move for an easy launch, right? Tucker says, what's the fundamental reason? The fundamental reason we put into play weeks ago. So it's just literally that the geopolitical risk of missiles over Japan and a terrorist attack in London wasn't enough to overcome the fundamentals. Andrew says, what's the target? Thanksgiving is the target. So I got knocked out for 450 pips profit on the CAD yen. For a while there, I was 500 pips, right? Does anyone remember how many pips the trade is actually worth as far as my estimation? 1,400, yeah. So now I think that trade would be up 600 pips if I hadn't gotten knocked out. But remember, the only reason I'm out, guys, has nothing to do with this move. The reason I'm out is I had to manage the risk at being at a cluster of monthly and weekly resistance. I had to do it. It's my job. The fact that I'm out is irrelevant. Okay? The fact that it came down and then took off is also sort of irrelevant. It's unfortunate, but I did the right thing and I have no regrets. But I had also a contingency plan, and now I'm up hundreds of pips again. So I did what I had to do. If I had just ignored it, I would have got lucky there. And didn't we talk about this month? We were expecting unexpectedly, we expected to break out of the range, right? Right, I was pretty clear. You should use your monthly pivots wisely. But I think September is unique and will break out of the monthly pivots, right? How many people would agree with that? I made that clear. The monthly pivots were very likely to be broken, and we'd be way outside the monthly this particular month, not last month, not next month. So it happened. And we talked about it in the past, and then it happened, and now we're in the future. It happened just like we talked about. Okay, fine, great. Doesn't have to happen, but at least it's understandable why, and why we wouldn't think that last month or next month, and why September was September. And I described it as I simply know December, the same way I know April, the same way I know January, right? It's just I have certain expectations for each individual month. So it happens. You never know why, you never know how, but it's much more likely this month than any other month. And there you go. So if it's that predictable, and I don't have a crystal ball, then it's learnable. Would you agree with that? Then there's hope, isn't there? Cool. Look at that. We're at 81. Nice. Cool. Nice. It's all good, huh? All good. Cool. So let's see if it worked out anywhere else. I mean, it's actually funny though, isn't it? You're like, that's the work we did last week and the week before. look at the arrow and where we are now, right? Right, and we're also at the 2618 Fibonacci extension of this move here. It's funny though, isn't it? To say last week, or last Wednesday, it's Friday now, so 10 days ago, to say, yeah, we should be around 89. We should be on our way to 89 soon. 10 days later, hey, we're at 89. Right? And the vast majority of market participants are still trying to debate like direction. Or why is it moving this way? This is so crazy, and right? And yet we set it up months in advance. Months. It's great. And then when you see it, you're like, there you go. Cool. How funny though, huh? Can't predict the future. So there's Aussie. That's pretty cool. Aussie's gone from what, 86 to 89. So it's up 300 pips in a few days. In 10 days. Okay. And remember, this whole setup is higher, high, higher, low. Okay. And Let's see if I can give it one more click. And we, right? And this is the third week, the market reversing at a pivot point. This is the second week, second, third, fourth. I guess second, third, fourth. Might have been a long month. So this is the 10th of August. Would you call that the second week or the third week? I guess this is the third week, right? So is it the day before the third week of August, the Aussie yen reversed? How would you describe that if it were you? Is this the day before? See, this is the 14th. This is the 10th. The 10th wouldn't be the first week, so this would have to be the second week, right? So this would be the third week, this would be the fourth week, and it's weird because it goes into a fifth week. But it's cool though, right? It seems like the day before the third week of August, the Aussie yen bottomed out, consolidated, then made a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Once again, we definitely talked about this in January, that the yens would reverse on the third week of August. And I think if you go back to December, the third week of December when I was in the Caribbean, and I did that year-end interview, and I said I was short all the Japanese yen, but I was just any day, any moment, maybe even that day, preparing to buy all the Japanese yen back. And then in that interview, I talk about doing that till the third week of January. Then there'd be a false rally. Then there'd be the yens would fall again, and then and then I'm talking about April, right? You remember that? And then I'm not entirely sure, but I might have talked about seasonality and thus third week of August being important to me, and all that kind of stuff. And the whole entire year is, I think, quite accurately played out the way I described it, like literally week by week. So again, it's more of, if it can be reasonably predicted, right? If it can be that reasonably, well, I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but if it's that reasonably predicted, where I can say, well, the third week of January there'll be a false rally, and then and then I want to dump that, and then I want to move into consolidation and all this kind of stuff. If you can do it that way, then it's got to be learnable. That it's not like math you can't do because you're just not a math person. Some people are just math people, right? And they're like, boom, 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 got it. And some people are not math people. They get frustrated. It's right, and you're like, I think this is something that you can do. I don't think we should talk about peso. Gold's still kind of stuck where it was. Nothing really to talk about there. Fine. USD yen. So we're at the monthly R1. We've blown through the week. Okay. Dangerous place to get involved. We've reversed this one so hard that we're in the atmosphere. We're in the stratosphere now, huh? It doesn't even look like the same chart now, right? The triangle, triangle. Oh, look, a reversal. Buy the, right? Buy the roll reversal. Higher high, buy the dip. Higher high, buy the dip. Higher high, buy the dip. Higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. It's just gone. And we did this candle by candle, huh? Wasn't this the birth of a reversal? So anyways, amazing, just amazing. Long and gone. I'm long and I'm strong and I'm down to get the pippin on. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Feels like a cigar morning. What else are we gonna do? I mean, I think it's all done. Right? Oil, we said, would go from 45 to 55. So it went to 46 and now is on its way. It's touched 51. So it's gone from 46. So where is it going to go? 56? I think we've been pretty right on a lot of different things, huh? See, like, look at oil. M2 to the pivot profit zone. We're kind of like done. It's Friday and we're supposed to be done. Right? Has my fundamental opinion changed or my bias changed for the pound? Well, what do we know? We know that the board is going from dovish to hawkish, and that they're going to need to, there is less need of extraordinary accommodation. That'd be cool, Marina. I have some good memories smoking cigars with Ryan, and we smoked the best cigars. It's great. My favorite memory, though, is that cigar bar near the end of my trip, and I ordered Manhattan. They gave me, like, I don't know, they just made up some drink. And he's like, oh, no, they didn't. Give me, he grabbed that drink. He almost beat up the bartender. You make a Manhattan. Apparently, they don't drink Manhattans in South Africa. Should have ordered a Joburg or something. So anyways, you need to look at the pound as like going through a taper. So let's say, Travis, now with the yen pairs, would you take profit on the original 300 pip, 100 pip stop loss, or whatever, man? Whatever. Yeah, no. I mean, Travis, that's up to your analysis. It's up to your trade plan as well. But I have found, and it's just me, okay, I have found in my trading that for some reason my trades hit 300 pips and stop and retrace. Or even worse, stop and reverse, right? So for some reason, I used to do like a 99, 333 OCO, for example. But that's just me. I mean, that's just my trading. And you got to remember, too, there's a lot of confirmation bias in trading. So what I think I've seen isn't necessarily what actually happened. It's my interpretation of what I've seen. Right? And your interpretation of what you see could be related to how many stepfathers you have, whether your dog got run over when you were a kid, you know, that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know. You see what you see. So I've seen, whether it's true or not, but it seems to me when I hit 300, I should take profit and buy the next dip. I won't go broke doing that. You know what I mean? But it may not actually be true. So it's just, you know, measure your own trades. Find out, bro. Also, the time of year, like in this case, maybe I would let it run more this time of year, but you don't have to. Don't worry about it. All right, so WTI, anyways, heading up a little further for some farther. You know, honestly, I don't really know what more to talk about. I mean, we spent weeks setting things up, and the last several days setting things up, and everything's kind of done what we said, and it's a Friday, and I don't really know what more to do. We're taking profit in a lot of scenarios, right? But you notice again, higher high, which predicts a higher low in the role reversal pivot cluster. M2 suggests M4. I mean, we're there. I mean, these are great trades. My only hope is that you've walked through this, or I've walked you through this, and you've had an amazing learning experience. We've focused so much on the find support, look for the higher high, buy the higher low, and take advantage of the extension, right? MRC, it does not have to come down. Don't think that way. I mean, you can wait for it to come down, but it doesn't have to. And I make sure I say that because a lot of people will sell because they're like, it has to come down. No, it doesn't. Policy is likely to change at the Bank of England. They're probably going to raise interest rates in December. It's not just an interest rate hike, it's the end of accommodation at the Bank of England. They're at a 42-year high for employment, a 42-year low in unemployment. Slack, if you read the meeting minutes or the statement, they said slack is gone in the workforce. Inflation is starting to creep in. Yes, maybe it has to do with Brexit devaluation, but also everyone's got a job. Eventually, productivity might improve. Eventually, wages are probably going to go up. They're getting close to their 2% target. There's no need for accommodation. They're going to taper. What happens? That's a full board change in policy from a policy that actually creates inflation by weakening the pound to one that no longer weakens the pound, which is kind of a lot like strengthening the pound. Pound's gone. Boom. So has my opinion changed? Yeah. Would I short this? No. But again, you shouldn't be listening to my opinion. Read the report. They tell you, the Bank of England tells it. Does that report say the Bank of England wants to lower the value of the pound further so that they can create inflation? Is that how you interpret it? Oh, wait, you didn't even read the report. Oh, snap. Really? Oh, what? That's what it is, isn't it? I hope you just got like a kick in the stomach. Really? You guys are currency traders and you didn't read the Bank of England report? And you're like, well, why is the pound going up? Maybe I should short it. It's gone up too much. Like, wow, you didn't read the report, did you? See, I'm sorry. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I didn't even think that you wouldn't have done it. Whoa. And then you're like, Wayne, why did it do all this? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, at least Pete read it. That's the beginning. So, Pete, what you should do now is read it and ask yourself the interpretation that you made. What did it mean to you? What did it say? What, in your opinion, what did it say? And then how did the market react? And then look for the dichotomy, or or bridge them. Like what were they the same, or did the market read or interpret it differently? And then if it's different, try to figure out why. So what you're saying is, well, it's a quarter basis point hike, not that big of a deal, and that wouldn't even be till the end of the year. So why is it skyrocketing? Well, is it just 0.25, or is it a complete reversal of a policy from accommodation to non-accommodation to normalization? And is it that people are freaking out about versus just another rate hike? Maybe it's not a rate hike, so on and so forth, right? Think about the taper tantrum. Google that if you weren't around. Now, if you were hanging with me, it was laughable because before the news came out, I said there was no chance in hell, never, ever, ever, not even 1% likely, like absolute 100%, 0% likelihood that they were going to taper. And the market was shocked and freaked out. And we set it up based on analysis later, and then you can interpret what happened. So we're kind of in that process. We're kind of in that area, right? So, anyways. Well, again, Juan, does an economy need extraordinary measures, accommodative measures? When you're at a 42-year high in jobs and inflation on the rise, do you really need extraordinary accommodative central banking policy? That's what you need? Okay, so yeah, okay. Life is great, life is grand, life is good. Gotta give you one got. What do you want to cover? Do we look for bounces? You know, well, the thing is, I feel like it's done. I feel like the week is done. I mean, we set a lot of trades up on Monday, and they've all hit targets. We're all at extreme pivots or beyond. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Right? Like, yeah, right? I mean, you should be out. Like I said, what did I say earlier in the week? I said maybe on Friday you volunteer as a docent at a museum, right? On Friday. That's probably what you should be doing with your time. Yeah, so you know, I look for swing setups on Monday, right? So what? Yeah, so I generally on Fridays don't look for something new. Yeah, I mean that's all we're really sitting around waiting for, though, right? It's a long ways away. What are you gonna do until retail sales? Yeah, but that would be a guess, though, right? Well, I would guess retail sales would be up if it includes one or both of the hurricanes, because that would have gasoline fuel prices higher, right? Mickey, I've covered that extensively in the training course. There's what is it, 14 hours of videos on that, Mickey? So, and I cover it every week. So I don't know. There's resources out there. All right. So I have Aussie here. I don't know if we want to do Aussie. Hey, that was a funny message. Oh, the sun's rising. Oh, namaste. So I got trade the news going on. I'll log into that so we can get retail sales. Retail sales is important. But like I said, if you can get high gasoline prices, and I think we talked about this on Wednesday, it's not oil, stupid, it's gas, right? Gasoline. So if we get the higher gasoline prices in these numbers, retail sales should be up. They might not really impact retail sales until next month, but nonetheless, there should be an increase in retail sales. So what are you going to do? Yvonne wants a training material for free. Put in $1 million at TradersWay, and I'm sure we'll be happy to kick that in. Well, I don't mean trading oil or gas, Shug. What I'm saying is retail sales numbers are calculated by adding up receipts. it's not a volume thing. It's
For
not
for the US data now on the platform, we'll get the Empire.
so it's not like the number of sales, not how many widgets and gadgets were sold, right? So in this case, retail sales is based on volume of cash, right? So if gasoline prices go up, what percentage of Americans buy gasoline on a regular basis? 99? So if gasoline prices go up 10%, retail sales tend to go up significantly. So that's what I mean. Now, and then do I trade gasoline or gasoline futures and all that? No, never did. The only oil I've traded is, I don't even think I've traded Brent. I think I've only traded WTI. Okay. Yeah, no, sorry, Devon. I'm just tired. It's been a long week. But yeah, no, it seems to me if someone works 14 hours, they probably don't do it for free. I mean, imagine working in your neighbor's yard, cleaning up after a hurricane for 14 hours, and you're just like, no, you could do it to be a good neighbor, so that's not a good example. But no such thing as free. Yeah, but you get it, right? You're a big girl, you know. I'm not a girl, I'm a boy. Okay, you're a big boy. But I'm old, I'm cranky. So I apologize for that. So retail sales, what are we going to do? It's so far away. I can give you some stats. Do you want to talk some stats? Retail sales ex auto, 0.5 month over month. Ex autos and gasoline, 0.3. Now let me ask you, what else does retail sales affect? What else could you use retail sales for in your fundamental analysis? It's a consumption. Look at that. Should got it right off the bat. Just like boom. Consumption, that's right. Just like that. Which means consumption is used to calculate what? What is C used to calculate? GDP. Thank you, guys. So I guess you guys knew that. Now I have to tap dance still for 15 minutes? Now what are we going to talk about? Jim says, what is one of the most important things to do when you're losing money? A, stop losing money. Stop trading if you have to. Kill all your losses is another one. Usually it's stopping. I mean, literally, stopping. It's actually a very difficult thing to do. And sometimes it's stopping for a day, maybe it's stopping for the rest of the week. You know, the last time I went through a very serious losing streak must have been 5 years ago, I guess. One of the things I ended up doing, first of all, I stopped trading for I think a day or two, and then which might have been before a weekend. So then I had a whole weekend to think about it, and I spent probably a week or maybe 2 weeks. All I did was 25 OCOs, and I didn't focus on like making money. It had nothing to do with making money. It had everything to do with gaining confidence. What I called it rebuilding my armor. I had lost my discipline, and you're either disciplined or you're not disciplined. There isn't anything in between. You can't be a little bit pregnant. You can't be mostly disciplined. So I had lost my discipline. So I focused on rebuilding that. So for the next probably 2 weeks, I made 10 or 20 trades a day. They were 25 OCOs, and I only focused on winning percentage. Now, you don't make money that way, but it had nothing to do with money. I wanted to prove to myself I can get a lot of winners. They were easy. It's like, free throws or something. I mean, these are shots you're supposed to make. They're supposed to be gimme shots. I don't know, Peter. Peter says, what is a losing streak? I don't know. I mean, 5 trades in a row. Well, if you make 1 trade a week, that would be a good start. But, some people make 5 trades per hour. So for them, it wouldn't be, right? I define it a little more in, how I traded. So that time where I decided to just stop for a few days, in a very, very short amount of time, I made every amateur mistake ever made by anybody. And I was really I remember being just, not just shocked, but I was just flabbergasted that I had made mistakes, and certain mistakes that I thought I had immuned myself to. I didn't think I was capable of trading that poorly anymore. It just, honestly, I made amateur mistakes, but I wasn't an amateur, right? I wasn't. I knew all those mistakes. I had fixed those things many years earlier. Just didn't do those things anymore, and just thought I was completely incapable of making those types of mistakes again. And I was just shocked. I remember just I dropped my mouse. I'm like, what the F was I doing? It's amazing. It's sort of like someone that has been sober for 35 years. It's gone through AA, has mentored other alcoholics or drug addicts or whatever, has been clean and sober and whatever. And 25, 30 years later, everything's fine. And all of a sudden, a drink, right? And all of a sudden you wake up one morning and there's empty bottles on the floor of your apartment, and you're like, what happened, right? It's just, you're like, I didn't think I had this in me anymore, and all of a sudden it happened, right? So anyway, so that's why I just stopped. Again, just shock and awe that I was capable of being that bad of a trader. And then rebuilt it, just rebuilt my discipline, that I would only buy at support, I would only sell at resistance, and it had nothing to do with making money. It had to do with just driving perfect entries. I just wanted great entries. And I did that for 2 weeks straight. Phil says 40 grand is a losing streak. Yeah, but for a lot of people, that would be one trade. Yeah, Carol, moo trades occur on daily pivots. It's what happens when you blow out of your dailies. So the way I would describe it nowadays, because you got to remember, like when I wrote that book, like pivot points were radical. Like no one even knew what they were, right? So I couldn't say things like, "Oh, well, just switch from your dailies to your weeklies," and people's minds would blow. You're like, "There are weeklies?" Right? So anyways, those were, if you broke through your daily pivots, you just keep trading till the end of the day. So if it breaks to the upside and you're above the pivot profit zone, just keep buying till the cows come home. Don't worry about it. Something fundamental or long-term technically has happened. There's been some sort of longer-term breakout, and it's going to move. Continue moving in that direction. Something special is going on. Don't bet against it is really the advice, right? Well, now I just say, well, if you've blown through your dailies, just use your weeklies because obviously they're going to go to a weekly target. Pete says, can you use OCOs on higher time frames effectively? Yeah, they're just risk management, right? Risk reward and all that kind of stuff. And for me, it's a risk management tool so that, like, if I throw down working orders so that I don't have to sit and stare at the screen, then at least I know I'm going to have a stop and limit entered. And I can always go back. So like if I set it up for 100, 300 OCO, I can always go back tomorrow because most likely, like let's say I set that up to, today, and tonight when I'm sleeping, let's say it's not a weekend, but let's say in the night, if it comes down, like my QB yen trades, right? I wasn't watching when those happened, right? So anyway, so if you get entered and you're not staring at the charts, at least you know a stop and limit is entered. You're not likely to hit 100, 300 in the same day. So you can come back the next day and adjust your stop, adjust your limit. Okay. Now OCOs on smaller time frames are great because I might want to make 5 or 6 trades on 5 or 6 different currency pairs today in the New York session. And I don't want to manage every trade independently. So I can say, oh, that looks good, buy that one. Okay, so if that means dollar weakness and I'm long Aussie dollar, then I can go look at, oh, well, how about Kiwi dollar? How about pound dollar? How about euro dollar? How about whatever, right? And I can start looking at those setup that already have the OCO over here. And then once again, that's a 50 pip range. That could be a half a day for euro dollar, right? So I can always adjust later, but I want to make sure that my stops are dropped. The daily, the weekly, the monthly pivots, all the same strategy. So like in my book, I only talk about daily pivots. But you got to remember, if I wrote that book 8 or 9 years ago, I had been trading the strategy for years before that. So, this is a long time ago. Back, you almost had to hand calculate these things. Okay, we're about 5 minutes now from retail sales. What pair do you want to trade for that? Euro dollar maybe? Less exposure to the pound stuff? Do you trade day? Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Same old one here.
Or 5 minutes. 5 minutes of the retail sales figures for the month of August, along with a first look at September data. The Empire Manufacturing expected to fall to 18 from 25.2. Retail sales month over month expected to rise 0.1%. Head of this data, head of the retail sales and Empire, the U.S. 10-year note future currently trading down 2.5 ticks at 126.10 half, below 126.08 half. The 10-year yield just below 2.2%. The 10-year spread holding around 82 basis points.
By the way, for those that have taken the swing trading course, somebody asked earlier about, can I teach you how to swing trade? I'm like, I made a swing trading course. Whoever asked that, so whoever has taken the course will know that when you hit this, you should head back to the weekly central. That's straight out of the, just like this one, means back to the central. That's straight out of the training course textbook. Does anyone need to take it? Like, do I need to create a coupon code? No, that's an inside week, Peter. Does anyone need a coupon code? You have to have a live account to TradersWay money put in a live account. If like 4 or 5 people want to do it, I can arrange it for TradersWay to give you scholarship, if you will, and give you like I don't know, like what are you thinking? 38.2 discount. Let me know your thoughts while we get ready for retail sales, about 90 seconds. No, this would just be for the swing trading. No, you guys had like 2.5 months to do the summer camp. I don't even know if it's online anymore.
Now to the bottom of the hour and our data. August advanced retail sales, month-over-month expected 0.1%. X autos expected 0.5%. X oils and gas expected 0.3%. Petrol group expected 0.2%. We'll get Empire Manufacturing for September expected to drop to 18 from the 25.2 prior. That prior reading was a near 3-year high.
Just unplug my monitor. Hang on. All right, we should be all good again. Just need to plug my phone in. I unplugged the wrong.
August advanced retail sales and September Empire Manufacturing in just a few seconds. minus 0.2% for advanced retail sales. Back-month revised down 0.3 to 0.3%. Next autos at 0.2% is 0.3 lower than expected. Back-month revised down 0.1 to 0.4%. Next autos and gas at minus 0.1% is 0.4 lower than expected. With no back-month revision. Control group at minus 0.2% is 0.4 lower than expected.
Oh, even the control group
dropping to 24.4.
That's used for GDP calculations.
Expected for Empire.
That's bad, huh? Negative 0.2. What?
Empire, the orders at 24.9 versus 20.6.
What? Look at the control group, guys. Negative
rising to 35.8 from 31 in August.
Get out. How do you do that? That's a bit shocking, like I said. So next month is going to be way up. You watch. Next month is going to be way, way, way up, like full 1%. We're going to go from negative 0.2 to positive 1, maybe 1.5.
Amish Department saying they couldn't isolate the effect of Hurricane Harvey on retailers in this month's data.
See? So negative inflation.
Taking a look at some of the components within the retail sales figures, we did see broad weakness in the motor vehicles, electronics and appliances, and
okay, yeah, because that's non-inflationary. A lot of people are going to say, hey man, Fed's not even going to raise in December now. Wow, wowzer, wow-a-rama, huh? Holy moly, eh? Just gone. Just gone. It's gone, man. This trade is on fire. This trade is on fire. Yeah. Trying to teach my kids Canadian yesterday. Or 2 days ago, we went for Mexican food. Trying to teach my children how to speak Canadian. So I told them, the Canadian would say, I'd say something like, this salsa's spicy, eh? And then I'd then say, and your response as a Canadian would be, oh, for sure. Oh, is that right, eh? Yeah, just trying to get them, teach them, you know, these Americanos. All right, so this is just wowzers, wowzerama. Wowzerama. Take a look at the yen-yens. Look at that, flipping on the pivot, huh? Monthly R1, USD yen down. Kiwi hasn't moved. Beautiful buying of the dip. I'm so glad we did that together. Cleaned up that retracement, huh? Like just cleaned that up. It's really unfortunate that I hit that last working order but didn't cover the spread. So close. Oh, nothing on your screen? What do you? When did my screen go blank? How is that even possible? All right, well, end sharing. Oh, when I unplugged the, oh, hang on. How's that? Wake up in the morning. So here's one we haven't talked about today, Euro Yen. Well, this is a crazy, unpredictable move. Nobody in their right mind would be long at the M2. All right, let's go back. How many people will do the coupon code for 382? If you want them, I'll call TradersWay, you'll make various arrangements, blah, 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 blah. But if only one or two people care, it's just, I don't have the time, man. I'm busy. So that, right? Well, that's 2, 3. I mean, but it's going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars still. But like, I'm looking at this, every swing trader knows exactly what this means, and they're smiling. I mean, this, what you're looking at is so textbook. Look at how I drew it on the 7th of September. So we did this exactly 1 week ago, and we're about to hit the target. From 29 to 33. That's 400 pips, and it's predictable. All right. No, you get the pivots. You get the pivots with the course. Because you have to have the pivots. Yeah. You can't swing trade without pivots. So if that's important to you, I'll spend some time setting that up. And I don't have a lot of time. MT4, Robert. Thanks, Chuckster. All right. All right. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, you know, can the central, well, any of these can be used as support and resistance. It's kind of getting an understanding of the pattern. So like one of the counter trend trades in the swing trading course is if you hit your target for the, you know, early in the period, then it's predicted to go back to the central. Now, of course, if you're a bear, you try again, right? And then look, a bull tried it again. And then, right? Do you guys remember, like, was it last week? I think it was last week. I said, what if, I challenged you, what if the only thing you did for the rest of the year was look for double bottoms with higher highs and buy the higher low on the roll reversal? I mean, wasn't that it? Like, didn't we talk about that for at least a half an hour last week? That you look for a double bottom at obvious support, then spot the higher high, and then set up a trade to buy at a roll reversal. And I said, just do that 100 times, perfect that one thing, and then maybe you focus on something else later, right? Well, depending on the time period, Chuck. So this is a 4-hour chart. So if you were looking at it on a 1-hour chart, it would be. Also, it's a double bottom because it's obvious support. Okay. So all you're looking for is, so I mean, you might say a double bottom needs to have a downtrend first, then do this. Okay, I don't disagree with that. But it's the fact that it's at obvious support that's most important for me. So it's a double bottom of a Fibonacci retracement on a daily chart, but you're playing it out on a 1-hour, 4-hour, fractal. So it's just fractal geometry. We're talking different fractals, but the logic is still the same. Okay? Right? And the key component of that is like, let's say you're looking at it on a daily, I'm looking at it on an hour, someone else is looking at it on a 15-minute chart. Okay? 3 completely different time frames. But we're all using monthly pivots. Monthly pivots on a 15-minute chart, monthly pivots on a 1-hour chart or whatever I said, and monthly pivots on a daily chart. Do we all agree that this is support? Run. Okay. Yeah. And what I try to avoid is you simply buy here only because it's support. I don't really like that. What I prefer is the double bottom. If you want to use a different terminology to say, well, it's not a double bottom in a downtrend, but it's a double bottom in a retracement, to me, it's 2 touches of obvious support that we all agree on. But even then, I'm not suggesting buy. I'm suggesting to, and I'll change colors here, I'm suggesting to wait for the higher high relative to here. Trying to get a different color. Okay. This high is higher than that high. So when you have double bottom and a high higher than this high, you're going to look for a higher low. Okay. And then now you take that is your setup. What if you're now a bull based on that logic setup and you're doing the monthly swing on the very first day of the month? Let me do in yellow, I guess. The very first day of the month is here, and you're a bull. What people in the training course will learn is that you're expecting this to be the bottom. And your target is here. And this is on September 1st. So really, 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 really helps if you thought about that on the 1st, and then on the 5th you have a touch of your bottom and a giant rally, and then a double bottom on the 10th, you're like, oh my God, that's exactly what I want. Boom! Okay? But look, I already did all of that for you. But I know we do a lot of things together. We only have an hour a day. I mean, we ain't got a lot going on. That's why you need to do the course so that you set this up for yourself. Because you can do this on the weekend and set alarms and stuff and say, oh, well, I want to buy down in here somewhere. I want to buy it in here, put my stop here, and take a walk. Okay? Should be that easy. So I'll make some calls, and I'll, you know what? I won't email you. Maybe you'll be here on Monday. Well, maybe I'll email you. I don't know. See, I don't have time, guys. I have a meeting with a billionaire in a few minutes. So anyway, I'll do something. I'll do something for you, okay? I'll get you the 382. Hopefully today, maybe the weekend. I'm sorry, but worst case scenario Monday, but I'll do it for you, okay? How long does the course take? Does anyone remember? I think it's like 14 hours of videos, I think. But honestly, I don't remember. Chuck's done it 19 times. Yeah. Hey, I mean, Chuck's right. It'll take you 14 hours to get through it the first time. I think. Honestly, I don't remember. So anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you on Monday. I hope you guys are rocking it. The last 3-4 weeks have been pretty spectacular, so I hope you're rocking it. And I hope you walk away with a skill that you can listen and repeat 1,000 times with now. Oh, and for those that do want that coupon code for the training course, remember, you have to have a live account. Okay? You have to have a live account. I'm not going to give you a coupon code. I'm going to give TradersWay support the coupon code. You have to call them, and they'll verify whether you have a live account or not. And if you do, then they'll give you the coupon code. So you better get on that. So see you Monday. Cheers.